Hey you guys, been a long while, right? Well, I've been thinking about recording again since the last video, which was a PUBG video. Excuse my voice, I'm sick once again. I think I figured out the reason, but I'm not gonna talk about it. It's not important right now. What is important is whether I'm going to continue doing this or not. I want to. I feel like I should. It'd be a lot of fun. It has been a lot of fun, and I want to do like videos with some other people, like continue doing with Anthony. I even have a video of me playing PUBG with him, his dad, and his dad's friend. It's actually uploaded, just not viewable for you guys. I know the whole like 5 of you, but I just haven't really had any lately to continue this. Don't get me wrong, I do want to. Some stuff has been going on lately, and it's been extra tough. Trying to like sort it all out, and I'm literally getting nowhere. So while I'm sorting all that out, I'm not gonna do this. At least I don't think I will. Maybe every once in a while I'll throw a random video up. Maybe I'll finally finish Star Wars. Like 3 days ago, I felt amazing. I felt the motivation. I felt the desire to record. I wanted to record Star Wars. I was just busy. I was working. I was out with people. Now I've got a couple days off of work a week, finally. So I could record, but I'm not going to. So, yeah. So I hope everything's going good for y'all. You know, the 5 of you. Thank you for watching, commenting, the whole like one of you that does that. I really appreciate it. I know my sub base just came from Reagan and all, but really it does mean like the world to me that you guys even took the time out of your day to watch it, even if it was maybe a minute or two. But thank you. Hopefully you'll be here when I start doing this again, if I do. I'm currently trying to move up in places in my life. At work, I'm trying to get a supervisor position. I'm trying to talk to a recruiter for the Army. I just gotta go take that ASVAB, you know. Told him about a month ago I would text him when I had a day off. I've had plenty of days off. I just don't have the motivation, you know. I want to. I wanna go take it. I want to serve and all that. I want to go spend God knows how many years in service, but I just don't have that motivation to do it. Like I said, stuff's just been real tough lately, and it's really dragging me down. Like I I don't know how to get out of the rut I'm sitting in. And hold on one moment. Really sorry about that. I should have cut the audio. There, I cut it that time. I don't remember what I was saying because I was coughing. Stuck in a rut. Work has become a drag lately. And like today's shift was fine. The shift I had before today, it was rough. The way our rotation worked, it was outdoor pool, so it wasn't like easy, but also what, rotation was actually really big this time. Anyway, it's the second outdoor shift I've had to work since working where I work. I'm a lifeguard, so never mind. It's hot outside. It's Texas, but it was actually fairly cool, ironically. Clouds were out. I think you see the sky in Minecraft. It was like if Minecraft could be entirely above instead of blue, it was that. Take a rainy night or just a rainy day you see in Minecraft. Put that as the sky for an outdoor water park. Now, take away, but leave the dark, gloomy clouds. Add 10 spots you have to bump between every 30 minutes. It's probably like 7 spots, but they just took so long that they felt like multiplied as you got to them. And then take a supervisor you feel like picks favorites. And wow, it's actually getting super dark in this game. This is the other version of Minecraft, the one I don't want to play, because I don't like the way it works. Like, it's a weird crafting system, you see. It's just whatever. But advisor you think picks favorites, and then throw yourself at a spot that is below the slides, but also right after a catch pool for people to come down the slide. Now add the 40 minute bumps between each spot, and add constant movement on top of that, and then add 2 weeks of working non-stop with a couple days in between being 12-hour shifts. And then imagine I'm not trying to complain, I'm just trying to explain. I guess it is complain, whatever. Just listen or don't listen, I don't care, I just want to talk. Add on your feet hurting like hell because you've been on them constantly. And then add really rough ground that is scraping your feet. Even though they're calloused and rough now, just add on ground that scrapes them. Now I want you to bump once. It's easy. Bump a second time. It's easy. Bump a third time, become an extra. It's easy. Now you just walk around the park. You're just picking up trash, waiting to be told what to do. Now, be told go on break. Nothing to complain about there, it's break. It's cool. Be out of it for break. Mentally be not there, not in your body. Physically you're there, verbally you're somehow there, but mentally you're gone. And then come back from break expecting to bump to the next spot, which is what you're supposed to do. But instead of that, let the supervisor that picks favorites put one of his favorites at the front door, which is where you're supposed to go. Not a big deal. Normally I wouldn't care, other than the fact that my feet had been hurting, and like I said, 2 weeks of non-stop work with a couple of days being 12-hour shifts with only 40-minute breaks. And go jump in that catch pool where all the people coming out of the slides are landing. Go there, spot break someone there. Now, go through 40-minute bumps again. Get bumped from catch pool, being in that freezing cold water. Walk up to the slide tower. At the top of the slide tower, it's simple. You can just tell people when to get in the slide and go down. It's real simple. Add on top of that freezing cold water still being on your body. Add on top of that the cold air. And on top of that, a pretty strong breeze. Mix all that together, you become freezing, you're shivering, and your feet still hurt. Now, get bumped from there 40 minutes later. Take a look at who's at front door. For the first 3 bumps that you were doing, very first 3 in the morning, when you had basketballs, lily pads, and then an extra. Same person that was there at the very, very beginning of the day when you were at basketballs. He is still sitting there at front door. And it has been probably 3 to 4 hours now. Now, last person goes on break. They come back. They get bumped to front door. Alright. So clearly the supervisor's favorite's now bumped off. Now you're an extra. Go talk to that person that's sitting at front door for a little bit. It's real chill, you're an extra, so you can do this. She tells you she goes home at 4:30. Alright, whatever. It's cool. Who cares? It's a weird shift for outdoor pool, because we're supposed to leave at 7:30, but who cares, right? Doesn't bother you none, doesn't really affect you. Except it does. So keep in mind everything I've already added on, but you can subtract the cold water still being on you. You're now dry, and the air is just cold. You're not shivering anymore. It's 4:30. Lisa, she goes home. She's literally walking out the door. 2 minutes go by. You're talking to another guard that's on break. And they're supposed to be in the indoor pool. Whatever. Now, you hear a whistle. You look to your right, and you see that supervisor. They're walking towards you. And they go ahead and motion to you that you need to bump Rover, which means getting back in the water, just knee high this time, so it's not bad, but You've been sitting in that chair for 2 minutes. You've had 2 minutes of rest. Two minutes when you should have had at least 30 earlier in the day. Now, go jump in that water. Go start scanning. Keep walking. You're moving, you're roving, you're scanning. Making sure no one's doing something stupid to get themselves hurt, killed. You know. Real simple stuff. Now, turn around to go the other way to continue scanning as you're supposed to. Look who's coming back from lunch. He comes back. And you know what? He goes to the front door. Yeah. He goes to the front door literally 4 minutes. Not even 4 minutes after you bump, he comes back. Now when you see that supervisor, you knew prior to working with him that he was going to be a problem. There's a reason I don't work closed shifts. It's because I don't want to work with that supervisor. I don't want to work with the high schoolers I had to work with that day. First off, they're all dramatic. Second, I don't like that supervisor. I don't like the closing supervisors. You know, sunrises are my favorite time of day. I love staying up all night. In fact, it's 3:25 in the morning right now. I'm not even tired. I'm sick. I was tired all day yesterday. Wasn't tired at work today, strangely. I was out 4 hours ago. Not tired anymore. I might stay up to watch the sunrise. Might go for a drive. Find somewhere to park. Watch it. Listen to some music. Maybe write a little bit. I actually just wrote a poem. I write poems. And one of my favorite things to write. Because even though you've got a million different kinds of poems, a million different ways to write them, no one can tell you whether it's right or wrong. No one can tell you whether you should throw it away or keep it or put it out there in the world. I have this little black book. Now in TV shows people say, oh, I have this black book, this little black book. All the TV shows I've seen with people that say stuff like that, it's like filled with girls' phone numbers and all that. My little black book, it's got a song in it. A song that was inspired by the same person my tattoo is inspired by. And then it has about, I want to say maybe 40 more poems in it. All of varying length. All of my own writing style. I don't write like stanzas. I don't write sonnets. I just let my hand go across the page. I let the words flow out in whatever way they want. I've been told they're good, I've been told they're okay, I've been told they're bad, and only some of those opinions mattered. It's because they were people I cared about. People I do care about. So that's what I'm gonna do with my free time now. My Tuesdays and Thursdays that I have off from now on. I'm gonna write a little more. I'm gonna read a little more. I'm gonna get back into the habit of writing poems, writing songs, writing stories. Maybe I'll send a couple of my stories in again. I tried that last year. I sent one story in to 2 different publishers. Magazines, not publishers, whatever. They rejected it. It took them about 3 weeks to reject it, but whatever. Maybe if it was better written, they would have taken it. Because it's a story I've never seen before. At least not in the way I wrote it. If you've ever watched Doctor Who, remember David Tennant, the 10th Doctor. I want to say it was the first time he met River Song. He was in a library, and it was, they were all in spacesuits, and whenever the lights went out, someone would die. And their spacesuit would be dark. And whenever you saw them in light, they were a skeleton. That is essentially, in theory, what my story is. But it's not darkness. It's not a skeleton. And it's also not an American astronaut, at least. I don't know what they called him then in the show. Here on Earth, though, like in reality, I'm saying, it's not an astronaut. This is like a Soviet-era cosmonaut. Now, if you know me in person, which only like 4 people that are subscribed to my channel do, you've probably read the story. I know at least 2 of you have. I shared it with you. But if you ever meet me just out randomly, like somehow you know what I look like, maybe from Reagan's streams or her BuzzFeed video or something. If you ever see me or message me on Twitter, feel free to ask for the story and I'll send it to you. I could share it here, but I just don't want to. Now, I don't know what else to really say. Feels kind of nice talking like this. I know I'm not done on YouTube. I'm just done with this part of it right now. The game part. Like I said, I write poems, I write songs, I write stories. Don't forget that. That's where I'm going next. I've thought about this for a little while, a couple weeks. My friend Garrett, really cool guy. Now that I think about it, don't be surprised if you see a video come up the next day or two. It'll probably be Sea of Thieves, and he'll probably be in it. He wants to collaborate, so whatever keeps my friends happy. He said we should do like a Mystery Science Theater type thing, and he sent me a video. Now, I don't know about you guys, and I don't know what he actually meant or if he knew what he was saying. But Mystery Science Theater, maybe I read it wrong and he said something different, but I got it as Mystery Science Theater in my head at least. When I heard of Mystery Science Theater, I was out in California. I was out in the desert. I was out with a couple family friends. We're all chilling around a campfire, and the oldest, really nice guy. I won't say his name because he likes his privacy. But old guy, Vietnam vet. We like to listen to his stories. Everyone that knows him, we love hearing his stories. His stories are amazing. He said, I don't have any stories to tell right now because I can't think of any. I'll tell you what, we can listen to one. So he went in and grabbed I think it was just a cassette tape. I don't remember. He said, this is Mystery Science Theater. Really old thing. I want to say it was like 50s or 60s or something. I don't know. It was a radio show though. It was old. You could tell by the ads it was old. And he played it on the radio in his truck. He played it. We're all sitting around a campfire listening to it. There were 3 characters. You had, actually I think there were 4, but I'm going to say there were 3 just because I can't remember very well. There was an old man. There was a young man. About, I want to say 30, he just sounded 30. There was a young lady. She sounded probably 30 as well. The whole story was them fighting at first, and I want to say they were being chased around, or being scared at least. And the old man was talking to him. He couldn't tell them what was going on. They had to find out for themselves. To make a long story short, make it easier on my memory, they were dead. The 2 young people, they were dead. They died in a car crash. They hate each other. The young lady, she figured it out. She came to terms with it. I think they were mad at each other and she forgave him. He couldn't come to terms with it though. He stayed angry. So the old man let her in. The old man is essentially God. I think he was God. The old man let her in. He let her go of the essentially purgatory she was in. And they left him. That was Mystery Science Theater. That's what I think of when I hear Mystery Science Theater. What he's talking about is, if you watch Rooster Teeth, Achievement Hunter, Let's Play, whatever, you'll know they do something for first members. It's called theater mode. It's where they sit around, watch a movie, and talk about it, give it commentary, Like, oh, this movie's crap, this movie's horrible, oh, this is great, oh. Or for them, because they're, just like this, they're like, oh, potential nudity, oh my god. That's what he was wanting to do. He wants to do that with, like, video games. He wants to take full movie cutscenes of video games. He wants to take those videos people put up that are like 5 hours long, that show like the first cutscene in Halo 2 all the way to the very end, legendary ending cutscene of it. He wants to watch that and do commentary on it. Now, I think that's a cool idea. I'm cool with it. But, oof. I don't know how we're going to do that. He lives up in Oklahoma. I'm down here in Texas. He lives about 4 to 5 hours away. Could make the drive, stay with him for a day, film it, come back home. Not bad. It's just gas. And it's time off of work, which means no money. But that's fine too. Money's important, but other things are more important. Spending time with friends, family, that's all important. Now, when he told me that, and I got thinking about it, something I wanted to do. I wanted to start another channel, separate from video games, but still along the lines of this Eden thing, in a way. I already have the name for it. I already know what I want it to be. I'm going to take some of my poems, some of the new ones I write, some of the old ones I've written. I'm going to put them on there. It's going to be me sharing what I have created originally within my head, within my soul and all that, and put out. It's what I'm going to put out into the world, whether it's sad, happy, or somewhere in between. Whether it's a celebration or it's a mourning. Now, I want to start that tonight. I think I might. I've got the name. I've got the first poem I want to put up. I actually wrote it an hour ago. It's not a happy poem. At the same time, it's not like an uber sad poem. I'm not going to say it's in between, because it's more towards sad than it is. It never will be happy for what it is. But it takes that name and it sets it in stone. And it still takes my image and thought of what Eden is to me, and it keeps it together, and it just sets it there. I want to write scripts. I know how I've done it. But I want to write scripts like Mystery Science Theater. It's another idea I got from Garrett, bringing up theater mode. I want to take a couple of my friends. I want them to do dialogue for me. I want to record certain things for me. I want them to say certain things. I want them to act out the scripts I write. I know plenty of my friends that are do it. I know a few that would love to because they want to get into voice acting so bad. And I'd do anything to help someone achieve their dreams, you know. Just as I hope someone would help me achieve mine. I have 3 dreams. 3 dreams ever since I was a kid. Some formed later in life. Some were formed from the start. But they were all before I moved to this state. I know what I want to do with my life prior to contrary belief or what I say. I may say I'm lost at times, or I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going or what I'm going to do. But I know what I want to do. First dream I can ever remember having was what pretty much every boy's dream is if they're, gung-ho enough. Or just got enough of America in them, I guess. Be a soldier. Just in general. Like, not any specific branch, but be a soldier. That's at least what kids say. Oh, I want to be a soldier. As you grow up, you start to learn what that is. Soldier's the Army. Marines, obviously Marines. Never call a Marine a soldier. Never call a soldier a Marine. Dear God. You got sailors, you got airmen, you got the Coast Guard, Coast Guardsmen, I don't know, and then you got the National Guard. You just took my sunrise. Whatever. I love the rain. Anyways. You'll grow up and you'll learn all these things. You'll learn the different branches of the military. And then you have to decide what you want to become, and the people around you will shape you and tell you what you can and cannot be. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a soldier. I didn't know every part of the military when I was 5. But I knew I wanted to be a soldier. Not a general idea of it, but a specific soldier army. I remember seeing the Navy. I remember seeing the Air Force. I remember seeing Marines, Army. Never saw Coast Guard, but that's a different thing. I saw those pictures, and I always wanted to be a soldier. I always pointed to the Army one. How? I don't know. Why? Gut instinct, I guess. That is one dream. I want to fulfill that dream, whether it's active duty or reserves, I don't know. And if you want to yell at me and tell me there's a difference in it, reserves, you're pretending. Whatever, I don't care. I just know I want to at least have done something there. As I was saying, with people molding you up, they all made the Air Force jokes. Everyone does. People shouldn't, but people do. Like, it's the Air Force, all that stupid stuff they say. My cousin's in the Air Force, and he used to make a lot of those jokes. But then again, he grew up wanting to be a Navy SEAL. But he actually sat down, did the research, and decided Air Force was best for him. Sorry. My uncle was in the Navy. So he was a sailor. Navy was what my family said I could do. And I swapped to my mom's side. My uncle, a couple of my cousins, they're in the Army. My uncle's retired with the Army. High up officer. Good man. That's cool. I don't think I could ever live up to that. Good thing we have different last names. But anyways. Marines was the main branch they told me I could not do. They're always calling Marines stupid, all that stuff. Oh, they eat crayons, That's what they're always saying. I respect all branches of the military. I'll make jokes every once in a while. I haven't really made a joke since I was, senior year. I just made a couple of those, Marine jokes to my friend. He was actually already signed, and he is in the Marines currently. He's stationed somewhere in the country. I know where. I just don't want to say where. He's enjoying it. He seems to like it. He was all gung ho for it. Suited him. But my family says no Marines. They make the Air Force jokes. They say the Navy's okay. They were never talkative on the Army, so when the summer of that junior year came up, and I spoke to my mother one day when we went out to get coffee, because that's what we used to do. We used to do that. We used to talk. Told her I wanted to go into the Army. She's like, alright, I'll make sure you're a pencil pusher, don't worry. And it's stupid to hear, stupid thing to say. Whatever. I convinced her that she doesn't need to worry and all that. That's where my dream's always been. The Army. I don't understand why. But it has. And then my second dream that formed probably 3 years later, or a little while later, I want to say maybe around the time I got the Sims, so 2011. Really, really weird time difference. That's 7 years, but whatever. This one's gonna sound weird. I don't share this with many people, but Since I was a kid too, and since 2011 when I was 13 and got The Sims, I just want to have like a family. Like if all of my dreams, plans fail, this is the one thing I want. I don't know why. I'm honestly not too sure on this one. I have no reference point or anything. It's just I want to have a great wife. I want to have a couple kids. Have a nice family, you know. But that's my second dream. I don't really have much to say on that one. My third dream is it's pretty simple. It's been with me since I can pinpoint 2011. Before then, let me backtrack before I get to the main point. Well, I should continue going through the main point, then backtrack. It'll make a little more sense. When it was 2011, I had some money. It was like early birthday money. I was like, okay, let me take this money. I want to get a game. So that's what I did. I was homeschooled. I lived out on the side of a mountain, or in like this little valley in a mountain. Each house was separated by like 1,000,000 feet of trees. You felt alone and isolated. And I was homeschooled. So throw that on top of it. That's my cousin getting on. Anyways. Me and my brother, we really just had each other during the day. Because our parents would work. They left us home alone because I was old enough to watch us. So I got this game with my money. I got Alan Wake. I got the collector's edition or the limited edition, a special edition of it that came with a book and the soundtrack and stuff. I got that because that is what I wanted. My brother tried getting the game like the week it came out. My mom was like, no, it looks scary. Don't do that. It's a rated T game. It's not bad. It freaked me out a little bit the first time, but I did play it at like midnight. Actually a game I want to play on the channel here at some point. But I got that game. I didn't know anything about it. I ordered it off Amazon. I ordered that edition. I'll tell you what, I found the Rad Brad then. That's when I found him. It was Alan Wake. I watched him play almost through the entire thing. I'm not going to lie. I almost watched him play the entire thing before I ever got the game. It took like 3 days to get the game. I watched him play almost the whole thing. And then the game comes in. My brother and I were switching off because it's like a TV show essentially in the way it plays. You have one episode. And you have a second episode. You got 5 episodes. The main game. They're all pretty long. A lot of fun. Great game. Go pick it up. Play it. Amazing. And then I beat it that night. The day I got it, I beat it. It's not because it's short, but it's just because I was addicted to it and I wanted to play it. Played the first episode, swapped off with my brother. Played the second episode, swapped off with my brother. Played the third episode. He was asleep. I'm like, he's asleep. I'm gonna keep playing. I had never been so immersed into a game to where when I remember it, it's like I'm watching something in virtual reality. You know, when you're like, you're watching this right now on YouTube. And you see the rain on the screen right now, and maybe you're as mesmerized by it as I am. Like, it looks like it just changed directions and now it's going faster. But in the background, it's going slow. Maybe you're staring at this screen and you feel like it's the only thing you can see. The white from the YouTube display is not there, or whatever it looks like for you. Maybe it's not there now. The sidebar where all the recommended videos are, maybe they're not there. And you just see this screen. All you see are the trees, those clouds, and the stars now. That's how I saw it. It's like sitting in a movie theater, staring at the big screen, and that's all you see. You don't see the walls, you're so entranced. That is how I saw the game. And that's how I remember it. It's how I found one of my favorite bands, Poets of the Fall. It's how this second dream of mine came to be. Or I mean, this third dream, my bad. It's how it came to be. In Alan Wake, the main character, Alan Wake, he's a writer. As I've already mentioned earlier in this video, I write. As a kid, as all kids do, I made up stories with, like, you know, toys and stuff. I always went into extra detail with my stories, though. I don't know why or whatever, but I did. And when I started, like, 3rd grade and 4th grade, I actually started writing just random stories. Random stories on my own, random stories for assignments. I let my creativity flow through a pen, through ink, onto paper. And then I played Alan Wake, and that threw in more of my creativity and more of a way to let it flow out of me. I started writing stories like crazy then. I would try to write scary stories, kind of like the game. The whole game itself is a Stephen King-esque type thing, and I would try to write like that. I can do it a lot better now, but then I couldn't. It was pretty funny. I would try to write like that, and then I would write zombie stories, because zombies were still, like, cool then. And then when I moved out of that house in that little valley and I remained homeschooled, we moved into an apartment, and then I got LA Noire. Before that, LA Noire came out, 2011, alright? So when I started writing, LA Noire was out. I watched the Rad Brad play it. Oh my god, let me tell you, great game. But anyways, I would write detective stories too. I tried to go into as much detail as I could and interrogate suspects as best as my little 13-year-old brain could. And I did. If I still had the computer that had those stories on them, I'd pull them off, reread them, edit them, fix them up, refine it, throw more in, throw it out, like send it to someone. But I don't. But that's okay. I can always rewrite them because I remember plenty of them. I took literally I took a very real house location, street, house, location, place thing in LA. Like, I straight up Googled this. I went on to like maps and all this, and I found a certain point. I said, alright, this is a person's house. Sorry, I sneezed. I literally took somebody's house. I literally took a cemetery and a church, and I wrote them into a story. Real locations, all that. Crazy. And I did that. I haven't stopped writing since. In fact, when I got the laptop that I'm recording on right now, I started writing again, like really writing. For the first, I'm gonna say week and a half of 2018, I wrote every single night when I got home from work. Reagan and I would either be texting or we'd be on the phone, and I'd be writing. One story had influence from like Resident Evil, the whole bioterrorism thing. I never got into it much, but I was starting to, and I left it. And the second story I started was from a dream I had. I'd tell you about it, but I want to continue writing it because it was crazy. And the way I want to write it is the way it happened in my head when I was asleep. And I'm gonna write it. I like the story, I like where it's going. Anyways, my third dream in life is to be a writer, a successful published writer. I want stories and poems and magazines. I want those crappy books of poems, those little flimsy 20-page books. I want those with my poems in it. I want people reading that and sharing that on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, with their friends, family. I want to give to everyone out there either what I feel inside or what my head creates. I know everyone in the world can do that. I know plenty of people do that on YouTube. I know plenty of people do that through writing already. Plenty of people do that on the radio. Plenty of people do that in Hollywood. I know I'll just be one more person on that list if I can make it. But that is another dream of mine. That dream, just like the Army dream, that is still secondary to me though. But it's something I want to happen. Those are my dreams. I don't know if I'm for sure gonna post this or not. But those are my dreams. Of them if you want. Be above them if you want. If you don't support it, whatever. I don't care. If you do, thank you. I appreciate it. But I am for sure going to take what I have written tonight, what I will write in the future. I'm going to take that to a new channel that goes along with this Eden thing that I am so obsessed with. And I'm going to continue on YouTube for a little bit longer. Not right here with video games for now. Who knows, maybe I'll change my mind in a week. Maybe a day or two, I don't know. But until then, if you can find my channel, because I don't want to put it up here, because I don't want some people finding it. Not yet, at least. If you can find it, leave a comment on the first video saying you found it. Just do that for me. I'm not asking you to sell me your soul or something. I'm just curious if any of you will find it. Just remember that it does have to do with the word Eden. And it has something to do with it being gone as well, but it's not my Eden is gone. It's something Eden. It's either something Eden or something Eden. There's two ways I can do it. It just depends on what's available, I guess. So if you find it, I hope you enjoy what I put up. If you don't, oh well, you don't have to watch it. Thank you for being here since I think my first video was uploaded in January, maybe February. Thank you. It's been a blast doing some of this. I enjoyed it. Sorry I didn't finish Star Wars. I haven't finished it on my own, so don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you. I like to keep things special, you know? Say you knew me in person. I'll use this example. It's not a very good one because I didn't do what I say I would do, but I'll explain why. In 2016, the summer of 2016, the summer before I started my senior year of high school, this girl I worked with, she was talking about this tea place. It's a nice little tea shop. Well, she was talking about a different one, but the one I went to was a different one. I go, yeah, let me take you to this boba tea shop. You ever have boba tea? I'm like, no, never had it, never heard of it. She's like, oh, let me take you there sometime. I go, okay. I tried planning it with her because I was actually into the damn girl. I was like, hey, let's go do this. I took her out on a date. Say that in air quotes. Air quoted it is. I took her out to see Lights Out, I think. I remember the movie because I kind of liked the movie. It was an okay movie. It had that girl from Warm Bodies. She played Julie. Yeah, that chick. I don't remember her name. I don't know. Love her voice though. Oof. Anyways. Anyways. She was in it. She was the main actress of it. It was like Lights Out or something, but that horror movie. Took her out to see that. I paid for the ticket. Plus, she made it sound kind of like a date. Really awkward moment later. Took her home. Didn't walk her to the door. Never held her hand once. Never tried. I didn't know what to do. I'm very awkward when it comes to girls. But I drove to McDonald's like just down the road from her house by where we worked, and I text like two of my friends. I was like, "Yo, guys," because they were like, "So how was the date?" I'm like, "Guys, it wasn't a date. Did you pay for it?" "Yeah, it was a date." I guess you guys consider that a date or something. I don't know. I paid for like all my friends just because like being nice, you know. Not like I'm gonna go pay for my friend's food and be like, "Yeah, it's a date, homie. It's a date." But yeah, so that was a date in air quotes. But she was like, let me take you out there. We never went. Never went. I never went anywhere else with her after that movie. Reagan actually ended up taking me to a tea shop, a boba tea shop. Yeah, Reagan took me to a boba tea shop down the road from her house. But originally, my main point here is originally I told that one friend, "Hey, yeah, let's go sometime." And to me, I keep things sacred. So that I'm just gonna keep between us at first, you know, like, hey, we'll go there first, and then I'll go there with other people, or I'll go by myself. I don't care. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the desk. But I didn't do that because I mentioned it to Reagan when we originally first started talking. God, that was so long ago. Anyways, I mentioned it to her then. He's like, "Oh yeah, let's go." We went. And I'll tell you what, that was the best decision of my life. One of them. I had more fun going to that tea shop, that shitty little tea shop with Reagan, than I would have with that one girl to the fancy one she wanted to go to. If it wasn't Reagan that I went with, it would have been that girl. I would not have gone unless it was with her if Reagan wasn't there. I would have kept that sacred between us until we went, and then I would have split it up. And sometimes I keep certain things just sacred in general. So Star Wars, I'm going to keep that sacred. I'm not going to touch the story until I record it. I won't continue on with it until I record it. So next time you see me post another part of that, I don't know what day it'll be. I don't know what month it'll be. I don't know what year it'll be. But I won't touch that story until I'm recording it. Because it's sacred between you and I. You and I. As weird as that sounds, it's true. an actual valid example of something I keep sacred. There are these two parks down the road from my house. They're also down the road from each other. But there's one park by the lake. It's really small. Took Reagan there one time. And that has been our park since. We went out to this town a little ways away to go get some burgers that she liked. Found a rock on the side of the building. It said, "Place me wherever you want. Post me on Facebook." So we took it and we placed it at our park. I don't remember where. I just know we placed it at our park. Didn't post it, so I don't think we did. But we placed it. The only time I took someone there that wasn't her was when I took our mutual friend there with her permission, because I didn't want to, because she was originally like, "Hey, can we just keep this place between us?" I'm like, yeah. But with her permission, I took our friend there. He was going through some stuff. He probably still is going through some stuff. Poor guy, man. But took him there. I told him about it. Told him, you ever need a place to go to help you take your head off and relax for a little bit, breathe a little, come here, skip some rocks, stare at the water, breathe in the fresh air. That was the one time I took someone there. It's now been, it'll have been a year and 2 months since. I've not taken a single person there since, except for Reagan. And then the park down the road, that's really ours. I've never taken someone there. Sorry. I was coughing again. It has been tough lately. Not so physically, not as bad as I made it probably sound earlier when I was talking about it all, but it has for sure been tough and challenging mentally and emotionally. I feel drained from work, but God, I feel drained from so many other things that aren't work. So much stuff just piles on, or you have a pile and you crush it and you're good, and then just something in it just breaks a little bit or cracks, and it's like I just spent forever trying to fix that. Why are you doing this again? Why are you doing it again? I've been forgetting to do things around the house. Like, my mind is just so filled with random things, with things that are just horrible. My computer just gave me a notification. It's running out of battery. And let me cut the commentary. Computer is supposed to have like a 3-hour battery life. It's only been an hour and 15 minutes. You ever try for something and it just doesn't go right? This is me just going back into like my emo, shitty, depressive sophomore days, I guess. That's where all the best music was. I'm trying real hard now. Figure stuff out. I know who I am to an extent. I know who I want to be. I know what I want to do, as I've already mentioned. I don't know where to start. That's why I'm making this switch. That's why I'm making this update. Or the sad end of things, I guess I should say. I just feel lost right now. Like, I'm in such a depressing state of mind and being currently that I feel lost. I haven't felt this way in a long time. Last time I felt this way, I was in like a hella bad, shitty, toxic relationship. It only made it worse, honestly. And honestly, I never put an end to it. Like, I tried. God, it was horrible, dude. Fight every day for 9 months. Oh my God. If you're currently stuck in a relationship like that, or it's a fight every day, it's a struggle, you don't know what to do. No matter how you feel about that person, no matter how they feel about you, it might be best for you to at least get out of it for a while. No, I'm not saying entirely. I'm not saying leave them, never come back. You can do that if you want. Hell, it might be a good idea, depending upon how bad it is. Like mine, when I was in God, it was bad to the point where I should have left the first day. And then you can leave for a little bit. Clear your head. Don't go off chasing other people, talking to other people, or anything like that. Focus on you. Take a look at you. Figure out who you are, what you want. And when you figure that out, if you promise that person, hey, I'll talk to you when I figure this out, have the decency to talk to them. When you figure it out, tell them. You don't have to say, hey, I'm getting back with you. You can do that if you want. But if you gave them a promise or just told them you would, do it. Talk to them, be like, hey, I figured out who I am, what I want in my life. I'm an amazing person. I want to be a writer. I figured out how I'm going to reach my goals. Whether they will fail me or help me succeed, I don't know. But that's a risk I'm willing to take. And I don't want you to be a part of it. Or I do want you to be a part of it. Tell them that. But only if you told them you would. Just don't hurt them in the process. It's gonna hurt when you tell them, hey, I'm gonna break for a while, or I want to break up. It's gonna hurt when you do that, obviously. But what's gonna kill them after that is if you go and see someone directly after. Learn from my experience. It will fuck them up. And that's not what you want to do. It will hurt them and destroy them beyond what you thought you personally could do. So remember that. You don't have to love the person. You don't have to care about him anymore. Just gotta have a little respect for him. Unless they beat you or abuse you in any way or rape you, then fuck them. They can go to hell for all I fucking care. We don't fuck with that shit here. I don't know when to end this. Honestly, I really don't. I don't want to stop talking. And at the same time, I don't want to upload a 5-hour video. I'm just feeling a lot right now. And like, I need someone to talk to. I had this friend a while back, about a year ago. They were my best friend, you know. Like 2 years, they were my best friend. They were there for me through it all. Through my really emo phase with all of its bad habits and all that, to my getting better, getting happy phase, to my I'm a stone wall phase, to my I am genuinely happy. And I have never felt this way before in my life phase. There wasn't a thing about me I didn't share with that person. They were my best friend, dude. Like, really. I don't believe in God now, but I met him at a church back when I did. The church had a lock-in. It was really cool. I'd never heard of such a thing, but I was also a homeschooler for almost all my life. But I met him there through some other kid that had my name. And then we became friends. Ironically, he had my brother's name. Have I said my brother's name on here before? I don't know. Whatever. But he had my brother's name, and his best friend at the time had my name. Not my brother, but the dude I became best friend with. I ended up taking him from that guy. It's pretty funny because we actually ended up talking about that. We didn't intend on it happening. It just sort of happened. Like, we got each other. We understood what we said and what we meant. We knew each other's dark little secrets, you know. We were there when we went through breakups. He was there for my first breakup. I was there for his 1.5-year breakup. And the 3 before that with the same girl. That was a mess. But she also had issues. And then the only time we ever got into like a fight was when I was dating my 3rd girlfriend. Now back in my sophomore year, I used to be super insecure just because like I didn't understand stuff very well. But I was also new to the whole dating thing, so I didn't understand a lot in general. And that was then. Next relationship, I could not tell you how much I did not care. I did not like that relationship one bit at all. I only got into it because I was lonely and I wanted a girlfriend. God, I regret that relationship more than not more than anything in my life. There are some other things I regret a lot more. Anyways, I'd lived through that relationship 5 times to change one thing I regret. But anyways, after that relationship, when I got into the 3rd one, I wasn't insecure until this one point. I don't even know if you can call it insecurity. We were sitting outside the church. It was me, him, and her. 3 of us are talking. Like, we're all friends. We'd all been hanging out for like months now. Because I introduced him to her best friend. And they started dating. And They broke up in about a month. They didn't like officially date, but they dated, air quotes. They broke up. I was still with the girl that introduced me to her, that I introduced her to him. So, at one point, when we were sitting there talking, the three of us, I felt, in the movies, how you've got, like, those three people, those three friends, two of them are dating, the other one's just the odd man out. Felt like that. But I'm sitting there and I'm watching it from the outside. And I'm feeling like the odd one out now, and like he's moving in. I want to say I was crazy. But like, just about all the times I've had the feeling that someone's into the person I'm with, I was not wrong. This time, what I'm talking about, I don't know if I was right or wrong. I want to know if I was right or wrong. He says I was wrong, because when I talked to him about it, he got all defensive, first off, so that was a red flag to me. And then he stopped talking to me for a month. And it's not like I didn't try to reach out to him or something. I did. But anytime we talked, I did the shitty apologies my dad does. Like, I'm sorry I blamed you for this, but next time, I've since learned to not apologize like that. Thank God I have. My life would be a mess if I had it. But he didn't talk to me for a month, and then we started talking. And then 3 weeks later, she broke up with me. No, they did not start dating after that, thank God. But she left me. I became Stonewall Eden. And then he helped me through it just a little bit at the very beginning. And then he helped me through it when she came back up again in my life. I'm not going to talk about that one. Yeah, I was Stonewall again for a little bit, but it's good. He helped me out then. And then I found out when she came back into my life, I found out on my birthday I tried to see him. Turns out he texted her, or maybe he texted her. I don't know, because I don't know if I can believe her. She's a batshit crazy liar. But she said he texted her on my birthday, and that's why I couldn't see him. They didn't hang out or anything, so she said, whatever. Yeah. And then I introduced him to this next girl that he's still dating now, who's actually the sister of one of my best friends at this moment. Or sort of is at this moment. And I introduced him last January, actually. And he hasn't talked to me since like February of 2017, I'll say. I tried talking to him and hanging out with him in September. He responded to my text, but he never helped make plans. Like, oh, I'm moving. Oh, hit me up when you're not. 2 weeks later, I hit him up because he never texted me. He didn't respond. And then I get into that accident last month. I get into that accident, and I'm over at my friend's house while he's there because, he's dating their little sister. He talked to me a little bit, but that's because I started the conversation. I was like, yo, what car do you drive, and all this crap. For a bunch of pixels, it's a beautiful sunrise. I hate sunsets. But I always love sunrises. The way the blue slowly fades into the sky, takes over. I think it's beautiful. It's the only thing that makes me a morning person. But, last month basically was the last time I talked to him. He's actually on Xbox right now. At least I think he still is. I know. About 30 minutes before I started recording, he was. I sent him a message. I sent him a text. Because I feel that bad to where I need to text someone that doesn't talk to me anymore. And hope they talk. It's currently 4:47 and I haven't gotten anything in response. I sent him a text about 2:30. Now I know he falls asleep with his Xbox on. Because before we stopped being friends, I guess, I mentioned it to him. I thought it was funny. It's like, oh yeah, I fall asleep watching Netflix, blah. I'm not gonna lie, when I talk about this to other people, they're just kind of like, you just need to get over it. Like, I get it, it sucks, you guys were best friends and all, but like, come on, get over it. Happens, it's life. I don't know. Everyone that's ever been a part of my life has just kind of stayed there. Never like stopped caring about them. Very few people I have completely stopped caring for. But everyone else, whether we're on good terms, bad terms, I don't care. I care about them. I'd still do anything for them. He could text me right now saying, hey, I've got a flat tire. No one's picking up the phone. Not have money for a tow truck. Can you come pick me up? Or, I know he knows how to change a spare, but hey, I don't know how to change my tire. Can you come help? You bet your ass I would stop recording this right now throw on a jacket, my shoes on, drive out there and help him. I'm there too much for the people that aren't there for me. I always have been. I feel like recently it's been becoming increasingly more apparent. And I don't know what to do about it. I don't know. I got today off for a reason. I got traded shift, but I got someone to take my shift. I don't know if that reason even matters anymore. And this is not me being like dramatic. I'm being dead serious. I don't know. Like, I don't know if those plans will go on. I guess I'll end it here. Because I just don't know anything else to say, you know. It's 4:50 anyways. So, thank you for sitting through and listening if you did. Thank you for watching any of my videos if you did. For being subscribed if you were. I think I'll be back at some point. Pretty sure I will. Until then, I hope you find where I'm going next here on YouTube. I hope you find my next video that I put up. I hope you enjoy it. Tell your brother, sister, parents, wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, best friend, dog, cat, any animal, any person, anything. Give him a hug if you can, give him a pat on the head if you must. Tell him you love him, and enjoy your time with him. Thank you for listening. So, good morning, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.